this is Kathy with Stampin' from the Heart.15. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm going to be doing Butterfly Basics. This is a beautiful stamp set, and it's got beautiful floral, different types of butterflies, foliage, a nice little pattern, some of the little doodads, the honeycomb, and just a lot of great little graphics that we can put together on a card. So my card that I have today to show you is blue, in the blue family. This is Marina Mist, and then I did the triple edge punch, a little bit of string, and then just some beautiful ink selection. Now the colors that I've selected for this particular card today are a little bit different. We're going to be using rich razzleberry as my card base, and the dimensions on the card base are 10.5 by 6 1/4 scored in the middle and folded. Then we're going to line it with, or put a mat here on the top of Very Vanilla, and that one is 6 by 4 3/4. Then I'm going to do a print, and as we go through this card I'll decide which side I'm going to use, but we've got the option of this particular one, or we've got this more bold one, so we'll kind of see as we go along which one we decide on. And then this is actually going to be excuse me, a general idea of what the stamping will actually be like for this particular one. The inside of the card then, pardon me, we'll be lining it with whichever side of the paper we go with as we go along. And this, the print base is 6 inches by 4 3/4. We'll have the Very Vanilla liner on top of that, and then I'll just do a little stamping here in the corner. This will be on the front piece. I went ahead and did my triple banner punch. I'll stamp it, and then we'll cut it off based on how long we want that there on the front. So anyway, that's a rundown of all the products and the colors and the papers and whatnot that I'll be using today. And then instead of using ribbon, I'm going to use a little bit of this Bermuda Bay sequin. I think it is just so beautiful. And then maybe some little pearls, and just depends on how it goes as we go on any other little embellishments that we put on there. I do like to be creative and a little bit flexible as I go, because I always change my mind as I go through things and see how things turn out. So this is my card base, and this is the one that is, oh excuse me, I lost my dimensions. This is the one that we're going to stamp on, and it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So to get started, we're going to have my little one that I did before. I like to do the foliage first. So we will take our old olive and we will ink it up. And I will do one, I kind of like to, as we go, end up with all the stems of all of them in one central location. So I'm going to aim for about right here. So we will go about here. And then we're going to do a second generation stamp. And then we're going to go a third generation stamp. So in each of those, I had them all intersect at the same point right there, and then they just kind of fanned out. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the floral one. You know, I think it's okay maybe even to mix a little bit of our inks once in a while. So I'm going to show you something that I've done, and I think it's quite pretty actually. What we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and get the flowers on this one onto our rich razzleberry. Now I'll just kind of take it there at the corner. Try to not get too much of the color on the foliage, the green pieces, but a little bit actually just adds some nice character. And I'm just kind of tapping it and making sure that I get the rich razzleberry right there where I want it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I'm going to try to not get too much of that razzleberry into my green. So now again, we're going to take this little intersection here where the green all comes together, and we will stamp that over the little collection there of where those leaves are. Now you can adjust this as you go, whatever you feel looks best. However you want that flower to kind of hook to the side, it's really all about you. This is all about creating and crafting, and quite honestly, I don't make anything twice the same. I like to do things differently. Now I see I don't have my little stamp mat under there, so I gave that a little bit of extra pressure to make sure that I got a good stamp on that. Having a little bit of some kind of your stamping mat under there does give you a better impression. Now, there's another little pen that you can buy from Stampin' Up, and it's this kind of a little artistry pen. It's got a little bit of a felt on one end and more of a little tiny bullet tip on the other. And I'm going to take the fatter end, and I'm going to lightly tap on my ink pad. And I'm just going to go in here and just maybe slightly exaggerate a little bit of what there already is going on in definition in the stamp already. Flicking it out towards the outside so it just kind of fades into a little wisp. I think that's really pretty. These are absolutely fantastic stamps. I love the quality of our stamps, but this just gives you a little extra. You can see here there's already some definition that was stamped in there, but the flower essentially is open and your cardstock shows through. So again, I'm just going to kind of just ever so slightly, little feather strokes, just kind of go in here and give some little extra dimension, a little extra texture. Now remember, these things are all handcrafted. They're not cookie cutter. No two have to look alike. There's nothing that's wrong here. These are creations. These are things that we do from our heart. We have fun with these types of things. If we wanted to be cookie cutter, we could go buy a card off of the rack. Because these, the burgundy kind of came down over this, which is absolutely exquisite, I'm still going to go in here and add a little bit of green to the base of these little flowers here, just to make sure we're getting some green in there. Take your time. You don't have to rush. You know, there's nobody running a clock seeing how fast you can get something done. This should be very relaxing. You should just really feel fabulous by the time you get done creating a card. We're putting our heart and mind and soul in these beautiful creations for people. Really enjoy it. Think about who they are and why you're giving them a card and why are we doing this. Just relax and have some fun. It is so fun. So we're going to use the honeycomb here. If you saw me there, we stamped it off once. Now you can just kind of at random stamp this. You may not want it too bright. You don't want it to overtake your picture. But what it will do is it just adds a little bit of extra dimension to what's happening here. And this card is all about layering upon layers, making it fun, adding some dimension. And then we'll do some butterflies and some various things. So, alright, just a little bit more there. A little stamp there, and kind of hook that around right there. And I think that's enough. We don't need to do 3. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to work on our little butterflies. I think I'll go ahead and bring some life into our picture now. So this one, we're going to do some rich razzleberry. Now, because I haven't stamped on here yet, I'm going to take a look on my paper to see how dark that is and decide, you know, do I really want something that dark? Or do I want to do the second generation stamp? Or do I want to do both? I actually like the dark one, and I will do the second generation stamp as well. So on this one, I've got them just kind of flying out, which is what I'm going to do again here. So we'll do the first one here, kind of nestled in between the leaves, and then we're going to stamp off just a little bit as that one starts to flutter away. I'm going to go ahead and do the full strength, and then I'm going to add a little one right there. Now we've got our little New York stamp. Okay, the last thing that we're going to add, just a little bitty doodad there, was this little tiny floral this time. That little circle sometimes I struggle with. So where do we want to put this? Let's put one right here. These are so cute. They add just a little bit of something to your creation. You know, you can't do anything wrong. We're just having fun. Stamping, stamping. Again, you want to do things in odd. I did 4 butterflies, so let's do 5 of these. And let's do one, a little bit off right there. So on my little strip, I do need to do my the birthday wishes. So since again this is going to be more in that darker razzleberry, let's go ahead and use that ink for the sentiment. So this one is the happy birthday. The happy is solid block, and then the birthday is a beautiful script. This has been an extremely popular stamp in the Stampin' Up! World. So I don't know how long I'm going to have this yet, so I'm going to take it pretty much close to the end. I'm going to use the top of my happy for the top of the stamp there, the edge of the paper, so that I can try to get it just about as close as I can. Give it a second to let that ink transfer and lift it up. Fantastic. That's really beautiful. Now another thing that you can do is you can take a little sponge dauber and you can add some dimension. So why don't we think about doing that in just a little bit once I figure out how long I'm going to cut that, right? I'm not ready to do that yet, but it's something that we're going to think about doing here in a little bit. All right, let's see what we want to do. So let's look at this together here as a group. We've got our rich raspberry base. We do have our white, so we know that we can go ahead and put that down. And I'm going to use my Tombow glue for that. I find that liquid glue is really easy. It sticks really well, and it gives you an opportunity to kind of maybe move something around just a little speck before it really locks in, giving you an opportunity to get things nice and square. Go ahead and give it a good press and move that around. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add a piece of our color. Now remember what I said in the beginning, we weren't really sure which way we're going to go, so let's look and see what works best. So if we do this one, how does it look with that? Just a little bit of turquoise border. That's very pretty. And then if we do our bling here, that'll actually be quite beautiful. If we turn it over, I'm not so sure that it's going to give us enough design and texture that's really going to make the card pop. It's definitely a softer look. It's still very pretty, and this will go on there very nicely as well. I don't know, what do you think? I think I like the darker one. I do like this one though. Might do another sometime with that. So, all right, let's go with this. I think I heard your voting. We're going to go with this one. I'm going to put this on here. I was debating there for a second because I want to add this, but I think we'll just put it around this piece. So let's look at this now and figure out where we're going to go. Okay, so that's about where we're going to want it. Let's flip this over. And I'm going to, let's do dimensionals on this because we're going to have that elevation there of those sequins coming around. So let's go ahead and use our dimensionals on this card piece. Love these. These are just so sticky, and they're just so effective in what they do. All right, let's turn this around and see how straight that is. Not too bad, actually. Okay. You know, you could also put a little piece of Scotch tape across there. I don't happen to have any handy right here at the moment, so this is what we're going to go with. You know, it's always amazing when you go to make a video, you find out all these things that you should have had. But that's what makes it fun. Okay. Put it on there. Oh, not yet, not yet. There we go. That is really cute. I like that. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So now our little birthday will go here. So I'm just going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it off about right there. We don't really have a lot of extra room, so we'll just use our snips and cut that off. And that will go right along there. Happy birthday. So what we're going to do, as I had mentioned, is we're going to take a little sponge dauber and our rich razzleberry, and we're just going to tip these edges. That really helps it to pop off your other little base there that you're doing. You could also use an accent color if you wanted to. I just decided to go ahead and use the same color that I stamped it with. Give it a little extra burnishing on the corners. That just kind of adds a little bit of extra pizzazz to it. Alright, and we will also put that down with dimensionals. I'm just going to do a couple. I'm not going to overdo. They stick beautifully, and you know, what's the sense of wasting product? Alright, let's put that there, there, and we'll put it about right there. There we go. I think that's looking pretty cute. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the inside now. Open it up. I like to line my cards, and since we use the blue there, what I believe I'm going to do is let's go ahead and do the blue there. Wait, well, let's look at it. I don't know. I think I like this better. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll line it with our vanilla. Just keep adding and creating as you go. I just think that this by itself against that Razzleberry, there's too much of a contrast of just both too dark, and it's not really lending the effect that I was wanting. Get it lined up. And then our berry vanilla is going to go right on there. Now this one we're going to keep fairly flat. I'm not going to add any dimensions to it because this is the one where someone will be writing their sentiment. So you want to make sure that it's flat on the inside. Just give it a nice press all the way around. That gives it nice, just a nice little soft border. I think that other one might have just been a little bit too shocking. Alright, so in this card, you'll remember that I did a couple of butterflies and just a little bit of stamping, so let's go ahead and do that. And again, you don't have to do the same thing every time. You can kind of do whatever your little heart's desire is, but let's start off with the honeycomb and the Dijon. Now here again, I'm going to stamp off once and give it a little press, and I'm going to offset that just a little bit. Put that down. Let's go ahead and do the rich Razzleberry butterfly. I think that is so pretty. Oops, it got stuck on my ink pad. Alright, let's ink that up again. They're just going to fly away, fly away, fly away. So, so pretty. And we'll do our little New York stamp. And let's do the Bermuda Bay on that. You know, you can use whatever stamps you've got. These are one-of-a-kind creations. Be as creative as you want to be. I'm going to offset this one. Yeah, we'll do it just right there. Okay, so there you go. You can go ahead and add a little bling, a little rhinestone, a little something, whatever you would like there to your butterflies. So what I'm going to do is I have out, excuse me for the noise, I have out my little pearl. So we're going to just take one of these little pearls, put them on the butterfly. It's sticking to my sticky tool, which is great, and that just gives it a little bit of extra dimension. Alright, and we can do the same thing to our little butterflies here. Butterflies are just so wonderful. They certainly are God's creation, aren't they? Who can look at a butterfly and not smile, not want to catch it, or at least I don't know. There's just something wonderful about butterflies, to watch them, to enjoy life in God's beautiful creation. So here we go. Here's our first card now. That was, again, the Marina Mist with just some designer paper background that was cut as a matte, and then our white cardstock whisper white with the blue paper and punches and colors rather, and then here's your rich Razzleberry, and I used the Bermuda Bay and did the sequins and the different color collections and the butterflies, but essentially it's the same, just a little bit different look. And then your insides, there's your Razzleberry, and then there's your blue. So again, thank you so much for watching my video today. As you all have heard me say now, I'm trying to get going with this, and I would certainly appreciate it if you would give me a big thumbs up. Let me know what you liked about it, what I could do different. If I'm not explaining things well, what can I do differently? Or if there's just some other things that you would like to see, maybe a technique that you'd like to learn, send me an email. I'll be sure to answer you. Thank you so much. Let friends and family know that there's a YouTube channel out there that maybe they would like to enjoy it. Share it with a friend as well. Bye for now. Thanks so much. Have a great day.